Welcome to East Texas Explorer. I'm Alexis Morgan.
And I'm Tristan Hardy.
Well, the semester is almost over here at SFA, and that usually means great events and everyone gearing up for the summer.
This week we have a story about students taking a stand against domestic violence in heels and Texas music legend coming to town.
We also have a look at the new water park that may break ground here in Nacogdoches over the summer and meet a true American hero.
And all of this and much more coming up today on East Texas Explorer.
Stay tuned.
Grammy Award-winning artist Lyle Lovett came to the campus of SFA last week as a guest of the Archie McDonald Speaker Series. Here's Megan Sellers with the story.
Stephen F. Austin welcomed Lyle Lovett to campus as the guest speaker for the Archie McDonald Speaker Series brought to the university annually by the Student Government Association. Lovett is a Grammy-winning Texas-born singer, composer, and actor. Lovett talked about his life as a child all the way through his getting started in the music business. His personality filled the room with a vibe that made everyone feel as if they had met this man before. He was very personable and even told a few jokes during his time on stage.
Maryland. That's right. I stole it.
Shortly after Lovett's interview, Dr. Baker Patillo, the president of the university, presented Lyle with the Lifetime Cultural Achievement Award. This award is presented annually to a person of significance who appears on campus to discuss their role in helping develop the American culture.
So tonight, it is my privilege on behalf of Stephen F. Austin State University to present the Lifetime Cultural Achievement Award to Lyle Lovett. Congratulations.
As requested by many that night, Lyle left us with a song that he described as being about inviting someone into your life, saying, "You folks have certainly done that for me here tonight. Thank you."
Sing for you this song. Tell you about just where I've been. Wouldn't take too long. Show you all the things that I own.
Reporting for East Texas Explorer, I'm Megan Sellers.
Students eat in the cafeteria day in and day out, but every semester, one organization ensures that students have a dining experience they will never forget. I took a closer look at ODK's Dining in the Dark, and here's what I found. Students may have thought they were stepping into a parallel universe, or perhaps an entirely different galaxy when they entered the Student Center cafeteria. Instead of a brightly lit cafeteria, students entered the world of Star Wars in a very dimly lit cafeteria. Even if they weren't aware of it, students were about to literally dine in the dark. Omicron Delta Kappa, or ODK, had been working hard earlier that day to transform the cafeteria into a completely different world. The world of Star Wars, to be exact. Every year for the last 4 years, ODK's Green Committee has put on Dining in the Dark. The Green Committee strives to educate students and promote sustainability around the campus of SFA. Every semester, the Green Committee decides on a theme and works rigorously throughout the semester to prepare for and execute Dining in the Dark. Students are treated to a completely transformed cafeteria for an unlikely and definitely memorable dining experience. As students first entered the cafeteria, they were greeted with a photo booth and the chance to take their picture with Star Wars props such as character masks and their very own lightsabers. Once having their picture taken, students could enter a raffle presented by SFA Dining Services. Students had the options of picking from classic dishes with the Star Wars twist. After enjoying their meal, students were asked to sign a pledge wall promising to go greener. ODK hosts Dining in the Dark every semester, so look out next year, Lumberjacks. You never know what world you might enter. This is Alexis Morgan for East Texas Explorer.
There are many different organizations here on the campus of SFA. This week, Consuelo Bonilla went out and found a little more about a unique organization called the Trombone Choir.
What comes to mind when somebody says the word choir? Singing, match voices, high and low pitches. But did you know that SFA has a trombone choir? Let's go behind the scenes to take a closer look. The week of April 6th through the 13th was International Trombone Week, and SFA trombone students were not about to pass the opportunity to celebrate it. People get to see the performance, but not many know what happens behind the classroom doors. The Trombone Choir was founded in 2000 by Dr. Deb Scott. It is an ensemble of primarily trombone majors, but students from other majors that play trombone are just as welcome, and they meet as a class weekly to practice. Dr. Scott has led the Trombone Choir to be featured at the International Trombone Festival, the Texas Music Educators Association Convention, and the 12th Area Trombone Festival. They used their class time to prepare for all their performances, including the concert that celebrated the International Trombone Week. The students joined the trombone choir for the love of playing the instrument, and many graduate to become anything from a band director to a professional symphony trombonist. The school year might be ending, but next semester everyone's welcome to go to a trombone choir concert. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Consuelo Bonilla.
We'll be right back with the report on the new water park coming to Nacogdoches and hear about the recent success of the SFA track team.
We'll also talk to some SFA students about a national controversy surrounding the legalization of marijuana.
Stay with us, East Texas Explorer. We'll be right back. Welcome back to East Texas Explorer. Get your family ready to have some summertime fun while cooling off from the East Texas heat. Nacogdoches will soon be the home of the Splash Kingdom Water Park. Here's Jakara with the story.
Get ready to make a big splash. Splash Kingdom Water Park will be coming to Nacogdoches next year. The city will provide the land for the water park located right over here at the corner of Park and University Drive. It is expected to attract more than 40,000 visitors from outside of Nacogdoches each season. Johnny Blevins, the owner of multiple and successful Splash Kingdoms, agreed that if citizens of Nacogdoches would raise $2 million, he would invest $4 million into building the water park. He also said water parks are great opportunities for cities to make money differently from other businesses that they have in the city. It currently has 3 Splash Kingdom water parks, one in Dallas, Canton, and Shreveport. The city does not have the resources to build the water park, which is why Johnny Blevins is partnering up with the contributors of the community of Nacogdoches to make the water park a reality. If you're wondering how much this water park will cost, it'll cost $8 million. When it comes to water usage, the water park will use less water than a car wash or laundromat. The water is constantly treated and recycled with additional water added for evaporation. Splash Kingdom is expected to generate $200,000 in new salaries consisting of 2 to 3 full-time positions and 50 to 60 seasonal jobs. Splash Kingdom is expected to open in spring 2015, and Nacogdoches residents will have discount pricing. For more information about the water park coming to Nacogdoches, visit their website at www.nacogdoches.org. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Jakara Anderson.
Should marijuana be legalized? Here's Brandon Smith with more on the controversial issue.
Hot button issue that always always causes controversy no matter where you live. Marijuana legalization. I tried digging deeper into the problem by interviewing one of the sheriffs here at the Nacogdoches Police Department. Unfortunately, he was unable to comment and unable to give personal opinions about an illegal substance. But I asked the students here at SFA what they think of marijuana possibly being legalized. Here's what they said. Your personal opinion on marijuana.
My personal opinion on marijuana is that it's a beautiful plant that should not even be remotely illegal at all. It benefits so many people and it helps everyone feel so good about the earth. And I don't understand personally why it's illegal. I believe that it could benefit a lot of people. Like, I know that it's been proven that it helps marijuana patients. It helps cancer patients. It helps cancer patients, like, have an appetite all over again.
Your personal opinion on marijuana.
My personal opinion on marijuana is it should definitely be legalized, if not for recreational use, at least for medical use throughout the rest of the states. I know it's already legal in certain states for medical, but I believe that should really broaden across the rest of the nation.
Will marijuana ever be legalized? We may never know. It may take years, millenniums, decades to get weed finally legalized. But until then, we can enjoy it while we can. And plus, if marijuana becomes legalized, that means less people will be behind bars and more serious crimes will be behind bars. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Brandon Smith.
Slow and steady always wins the race. And last week's SFA track team dominated the Skechers Invitational. Here's Gabriella Wesley with the story.
After 2 long days of strong performances, SFA's track and field dominated in the Skechers Carl Kites Invitational. The 2-day track meet took place April 4th and 5th at the Homer Bryce Stadium. Spectators and fans from all over Texas came out to witness the Lumberjack experience.
As they come around, let's bring them in. Here we go. Look at this finish. You have to warn it.
The women's track and field team persevered to a dynamic finish by winning a total of 7 events along with an overall first place win. Comparable to the men who finished second in the meet, the men's track and field also established the number 3 time in the 4x400 relays in the entire nation. Although Lumberjacks were in an intense battle with some of the best teams across Texas, every athlete left their hearts and the track blazing. Nonetheless, SFA Lumberjacks and Ladyjacks work hard to keep the legacy alive. With that being said, it is quite evident that SFA makes great basketball players and even better track runners. For East Texas Explorer, I am Gabriella Wesley.
The Family Crisis Center of East Texas tries to raise awareness about family violence and sexual assault. They held an event this month that had men walking in women's shoes. Here's Bianca Berlanga with more.
The Family Crisis Center of East Texas put on an event called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. They had guest speakers like Heather Carty. She talked about how the Family Crisis Center tries to prevent family violence and sexual assault and explained why this event was important. They also had Ron Smith, who talked about the statistics of sexual assault and family violence. The event took place on the SFA campus to get male students to participate. The men had to trade in their shoes for women's high heels. While trying to keep their balance, they had to race from in front of the Baker Portillo Student Center to the end of it. Jose Castañeda is a member of the Save Coalition, and this is why he participated and Walk a Mile in Her Shoes.
It's just a good, fun way to raise awareness for crimes against women.
Seeing men in high heels drew a crowd that cheered and clapped for the men racing towards the finish line. The Family Crisis Center of East Texas wanted to bring awareness not only to women, but to men and to the Nacogdoches community. They were very proud and grateful of the male students who participated and enjoyed the event. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Bianca Berlenga.
When we return, we've got a story about a true American hero.
One of our reporters also went out to the annual Nacogdoches Quilt Show. We'll see what she found out there.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to East Texas Explorer. Protecting our nation is no easy job, and many times the acts of those in service go unrecognized. Frank Davis is a prime example of one of today's unsung heroes. Here's Milana Davis with the story.
Courage, leadership, and strength. Those are just a few things in particular that U.S. soldiers must have. Frank Davis, Vietnam War veteran, has all of those qualities and more. Sergeant Davis had many jobs while protecting our country, some including infantryman, Morse code interpreter, and military policeman. Along with having many jobs, he was also stationed in many places, such as Germany, Texas, Washington, and Korea. Times were not always easy, though. Minority soldiers did not always get their fair credit during times of duty.
Thus, we didn't receive the ranks that we received, and we worked harder than those above us doing their jobs, which they got credit for.
Sergeant Davis also fell victim to a disease caused by Agent Orange, a herbicide, during his time of duty. But despite these hardships, he has received many honors for his service. After retiring, Frank Davis went on to teach junior ROTC at a high school.
I also want to give credit to the United States military for helping me to get a job as a junior ROTC instructor, which taught me that I can be a very good teacher.
While teaching, Sergeant Davis has also helped students in achieving American citizenship. He is now retired and has his own landscaping service. Frank Davis is a true hero, making a difference in our country and enriching lives around him. I'm Milana Davis for East Texas Explorer.
There's a lot of history here in the oldest town in Texas. Here's Casey Helms to tell us more about the oldest schoolhouse in the state.
Nacogdoches is known as the oldest town in Texas, and as such, is home to some of the oldest buildings in the state. One of these buildings is the old University building on North Mound Street. It was granted a charter in 1845 by the Republic of Texas and became known then as Nacogdoches University. The old university building has seen a lot in its lifetime. 19th century students, a civil war, and the threat of demolition until the Federation of Women's Clubs stepped in. The women in this club restored the building to its former glory and continue to care for it by hosting fundraising events and allowing visitors to tour the museum upstairs. One of these fundraising events is the old university building's annual tea party.
We have tea at the old university building every spring as a tradition. Women and men like to come and sit together and casually enjoy visiting while they have tea and refreshments.
All proceeds from fundraisers like these go to the building's upkeep and continued preservation. With such a vast and interesting history, from its use as a hospital during the Civil War to the hub of information that it is today, it's no wonder the Federation of Women's Clubs works so hard to keep this building standing. With a cup of tea and some gracious hosts, this is Casey Helms reporting for East Texas Explorer.
The Piney Woods Quilt Festival is the annual event held each spring in East Texas. The festival draws out thousands of people and provides them with a full weekend of quilting and shopping. For more about the Quilt Festival, here's Khaki Holland.
For East Texas Explorer, I'm Khaki Holland, reporting at the Piney Woods Quilt Festival.
East Texas recently played host to the 11th annual Piney Woods Quilt Festival. The Quilt Festival was sponsored by the Busy Quilters Guild and the Panola Squares Quilt Club. Hundreds of quilters came to the Quilt Festival to enter their unique quilt in a competition. Club members were allowed to enter up to 2 quilts in the contest for free, but non-members had to pay a $3 entry fee. Categories for the competition included hand-pieced and hand-quilted, machine-pieced and machine-quilted, hand or machine embroidery and applique, small quilts and projects, and antique vintage quilts. For more about the judging of the quilts, here is Susie Evers, co-chairman of the Piney Woods Quilt Festival.
This year, for the first time, we hired a certified judge, certified by the National Quilting Association, and she goes quilt by quilt, stitch by stitch, throughout the entire show, evaluates and ranks the quilts.
This year, there were 107 quilts entered in the competition, and cash prizes were awarded to the top contenders. Co-chairman Nancy Lee Kotz tells us more.
At the end of the show, about the last hour, we award all of our prizes. First place prizes are $100 in 7 different categories. And then we also award second and third place prizes.
The quilt show also had 14 vendors on hand this year, and each had very unique items for sale. Some vendors even gave demonstrations to give shoppers an inside glimpse of what quilting is all about.
For East Texas Explorer, I'm Khaki Holland. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next time with more stories from around East Texas.
In the meantime, you can check out our YouTube channel at Jack TV SFA. There you'll find all episodes of our Jack TV shows and other student-produced work.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on another episode of East Texas Explorer.